hello. 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 I love you. I love you. I love you. It is that we are now beginning to open up our hearts, as we are always wanting to start with I love you. And now, as a collective being of light, even though you might not always perceive yourself that way, you're beginning to take what we call an in-breath. You're breathing back inward into unity consciousness, into oneness, into equality, into compassion and understanding. And so in order for that to happen, you're literally birthing a part of yourself back into an awakened state. So you're all beginning to wake up. And in different ways. And each of you plays a specific kind of part in that awakening process. You carry a note or an instrument that when it is tuned to the vibration of who it is that you are and it is allowed to be fully expressed, it joins in a magnificent and beautiful orchestra that will play a symphony beyond any beauty that you can imagine. And so that's what's happening right now on your planet. And even though you may perceive it as different as you witness the unfoldment of this fragmented energy polarizing itself in different camps, it is that the polarization is an opportunity for awakening. And the awakening is an opportunity for that in-breath to occur. Now that in-breath is going to occur regardless of whether you choose to breathe along with it or not. If you choose to be in resistance of it, it will shake you to your core. And it might feel uncomfortable. If you choose to align with it and move into surrendering and allowing, you'll have an easier time moving through the transition, and you will be supportive in the process as you bring with you and choose to connect and help others along the way. We often refer to it much like a birthing process, just like when you're giving birth to a new life. If you're in resistance, if you're not breathing, if you're holding back, it can be very painful and difficult. And if you can open up, if you can breathe, if you can align with the vibration of the expansion of the transition itself, the birth can come fairly easily. So it is that our job from the angelic realm, as I come to you as a beacon of light to bring forth my message of unconditional, complete love and compassion, is that I am here to stir something in your hearts, to awaken you to remember that you and I are one energy and that you are connected to this source, and this source is extraordinarily powerful, and it is love itself. And as love becomes your number one priority, as it becomes your barometer, as you align with it and it becomes the key, it opens the door to synchronicity, magic, beauty, and possibilities as it supports you in fully expressing who you are. And so it is that many of your great teachers and masters who have walked upon the earth have spoken of love, and yet somehow love got quantified in a very conditional sense that if you were to love one, they must do or behave in a certain way. But we are speaking of love where there is no judgment, in which you are fully and absolutely in observation of what is unfolding and able to perhaps bring love and compassion to the one in which you disagree with the most. And so it is that we want to bring humor and light and lightness and fun to all that's occurring, and support you all in stepping back and having a perspective in which you begin to witness the ridiculousness in what you have created collectively and appear to think is the norm or the way that things should be. As you begin to recognize that that norm is no longer serving the greater whole or the masses, you begin to bring forward a new collective agreement, understanding in your consciousness to create a new platform, something that brings beings together with love and unity, equality, compassion, and understanding. And so we come from the angelic realm to call upon all you, for it is that we have been speaking through Kelly now for many, many, many years. In fact, very few years in infinite time. It is not even a speck. But in the perspective of your lifetime, we've been talking for a long time about this moment in history where there would be this awakening, where you would begin to really create a shift for something new. And that moment has arrived. So all of you feel called to be here today because it is that something inside of you called you to connect to this moment, to remember that essence, that part of you before you were in your body, the part of you that will return to that source of that love and that energy of oneness when you leave your body. For it is that in your culture you often do not speak of death, for it is something that somehow is put aside as you go through your daily activities. And yet the body in which you dwell in at this moment in time, at one moment will cease to exist. But the infiniteness of your essence, your soul, your spirit will continue for eternity. It is actually infinite because it is source itself. And as you begin to take each breath with that remembering and that knowing, you become fearless and open and ready to align with your truth and to express yourself. And as you begin to do that and awaken, it is the paradigm that has enslaved humanity into the idea of a particular way of perceiving the world will begin to disassemble itself or crumble or fall apart. And so you're in a period of transition in which current institutions that are no longer serving the whole are going to begin to dissemble. And as they do so, it can be witnessed as something horrible or as something beautiful, as an opening and an opportunity to create a new platform, a new beginning, a new place in which you can reside in peace and harmony and connectedness. And the only way you are all going to get there is through one particular place, your heart and love and compassion. So we're here today to pour love into all of your hearts, to see how divine and beautiful and perfect you are, to remind you of your essence and your original self, and to remind you that what seems so important or so hard or so whatever right now will pass. That as you keep coming back to the moment you're in, sitting here, you can always return to peace and to love, to centeredness. And that these times are an opportunity to remain centered and calm and focused and grounded and aligned with the vibration of the beings that are here to support you.